This is the square 1, and this is the square 2. 3 years ago was the first time that I solved a square 1. Okay, it was also the only time I solved a square 1, so I don't remember how I did that. This video kicked off a series where I tried to solve many different puzzles. Some of them were easier than expected, and others really pushed me to my limit. So 3 years later, we've come full square, and I'm gonna solve the square 2 with no memory of how I solved the square 1. One of the difficulties with square 1 is when you get it out of cube shape, you can run into situations where it doesn't turn, because we normally turn along this line, but this piece does not split in half. The only difference on a square 2 is that the corner pieces are cut in half, so you can make these turns. In fact, it's kind of like a pizza where every single piece is the same size, so you can always turn absolutely anywhere. And the only other thing you have to know about both square 1 and square 2 is they can only turn the bottom, the top, and they can do what's called a slice move, which turns this side 180 degrees. And then you can turn top and bottom again and turn this again, and let's start scrambling it. Oh no. Yeah, this gets looking way crazier than the square 1 because the corner pieces are in half, so they make this really jagged looking shape. And I'm really curious if this is going to be easier or harder than a square 1. Like, obviously there are more pieces, which makes it harder, but you can always turn. There's no what you call bandaging, where the cube has spots where it's unable to turn. So this one will always be able to turn, but there are more pieces to solve, and I'm interested to see if that makes it easier or harder. Okay, this looks pretty scrambled. I'm gonna start, as always, by just trying to do something. Let's see, I just wanna get a feel for my freedom on this cube. It's not really a cube, but I'm gonna try and get these two that are solved. I'm gonna try and attach this one here and just see if I can do that. So I think if I move it to the other side, get it like here maybe, move it up. Oh, hey, that was pretty easy. I don't know if I need to do this, but my goal is kind of to turn the top and bottom into squares to make this into a cube shape. So where's the other white blue piece? No, it's not white blue that goes here. Next to blue should be, I think it should be orange. So that would be one of these two pieces. If they put together like this, then this one is the one that goes there. Okay, the slice happens here, so I can move this one over to the edge of the slice it up. Oh, that's the wrong one. I like how I reasoned exactly which one it should be, and then it was wrong. There we go. It looks really easy right now, but I guarantee you my progress is going to be stopped at some point. So here's the white orange, and here's where it goes. So I think I can just move this one away and then get the spot here and move it back up. Okay, there we go. Okay, I have half of a square up here. You can see that turning in half means solving half wouldn't be that hard, but solving the other half, that would be the hard part. Okay, so I got my next piece here. Now we have our first issue where if I want to put the next one, which is white-green, which is this one, then once I move it up, like that, that's good, but it's going to kick out this one that I've solved at the back. Okay, normally on a 3x3, I would say that's easy. Just take this part and move it to the side, but that's you can't do moves like that. There's only one possible move you can do to switch things between the top and the bottom, and other than that, you can only turn the top and the bottom. So I'm pretty restricted here on what I can do. Okay, different plan. What if I just tried to make this as cube-shapey as possible, like that? That looks like a lot of it's done, but then we got this side. Okay, new plan. I'm gonna turn the whole thing upside down, and I'm just gonna say that this white part that I've solved here is just solved. And I'm going to then, if I only turn this side, I'll never disturb it again. And I can just do the same thing for a half square on yellow. I'm not seeing a way to make cube shape right now, which is worrying me, but I can still try to make just as much as I can and see where that takes me. Because when you're approaching a new puzzle, knowing the right answer of what to do is not always easy to figure out. Okay, I want this one here, and I'm just realizing that this isn't too hard for me because I already know how to do 3x3. So a lot of my intuition still sort of works, and If you are actually approaching this with no puzzle knowledge at all, this would be so much harder. I'm trying to get this yellow-red right here, which is a bit of a problem because how I was doing it before was I would just move it next to the slice area on this side, and then I could just move it up, right? But the problem here is I'm also trying to preserve this. So I cannot actually move the bottom layer at all. And that means I need to move it up, do this, and then move it back down so it's next to the slice layer, and then I can move it up. Okay, that is not too much of a problem. I can deal with that. Next to red should be blue. So we're gonna get one of the blue corners. I think it's this one. So I'm gonna take this. Well, I can't just move it straight down like that because that's breaking stuff I'm making. Wow, this is getting really restrictive. But I can try to preserve the stuff I'm making. Just keep doing this over and over until it's at the bottom. Perfect. There we go. Okay, now I need the yellow blue here. It's right here. 1, 2, 3. Now it's right here. 1, 2, 3. Now it's right here. It is slowly creeping over. I hope you can see how I'm doing this, but that's so funny. I'm doing so many moves just to move this one over. Okay, there we go. And now I need the yellow blue here, but I don't think there's a way I can do that because now if I slice, I need to preserve everything in this side so I can't turn the bottom layer, and I need to preserve everything on this side so I can't turn the top layer. If I do try to do what I just did to slowly creep it over, this yellow blue, then I'm going to need to do this turn first, and that's gonna break up this green that I have. So, well, we'll do it anyway, we'll see what happens. Yeah, that just moves the yellow-green slowly away. So really, I'm just taking yellow-blue, moving it closer, and taking yellow-green, moving it further. Okay, honestly, I guess this is not the way to solve it, but I do feel like I've learned a lot from this, and that's why you kind of want to approach it with anything that you can think of. Okay, I had this marvelous idea to just solve this white part instead and move it down, and now I have this square made, and oh, I do know how to flip this center part, which is just, wait a minute, orange matching red. What that means is the color scheme is wrong. Now, I'm pretty sure the color scheme is right. I just need to put white on the opposite side, like that, and then, what? Oh, no. This part needs to flip, and how you can do that is just repeat R2s and U2s, I think. Like that. Okay. So it looks like I've solved F2L and OLL, so all I have left is one PLL algorithm. Okay, look, I have no clue what to do from here, but it does look like I've made a lot of progress, even though I don't think this is ultimately the way we're gonna solve it. What would I even call this PLL? It needs to move around a lot of pieces, so I think I would call this a G-perm. Okay, I'm thinking back to square one, and I roughly remember how I approached this next step. I broke up the first layer and then fixed it. And then that just did something to the top, I don't know what, and it allowed me to use that thing that I discovered as an algorithm. I'm not cheating, that's not square one knowledge, that is just general puzzle solving knowledge. Okay, I think that I remember the way I broke it up on square one was kind of like, obviously I had to save the corner duos because those were just one piece. I don't have to do that on this one though, so I can probably come up with something else, and I should, because I shouldn't try to do the same thing as what I did. Let's see, if I take out this edge, how would I recombine it back into the bottom? Like this, like this, like this, and then I would combine these and then move it all back down. That was so complex. That was not, that doesn't even work. Wait, this color scheme is wrong. That's why orange doesn't even go there. Please tell me this will work. Putting it back together. Okay. Looks like something in the top layer changed, but I don't know what because that was so long. Should I play back the video and see what I did and see what it did to the top layer? Because I'm sure that did something to the top layer, but that algorithm might have done so much that the algorithm wouldn't even be usable. Okay, well, what if I move it up and take like 2 pieces out, the edge and the corner? Maybe I'll have a bit more freedom to move here. Guys, I just discovered something. Oh, this was completely by accident, but I think I could maybe solve everything with what I just discovered. Okay, let me walk you through my thought process there because, this could be huge. So what I was originally thinking was the white layer is solved and the yellow layer is not. So I need to make an algorithm by just doing random stuff in a way that keeps the white layer solved at the end of that. That is not necessary. I was trying some stuff and I realized, okay, if I take all this out, do one turn and move it all back down, then this actually destroys half of the white layer. This part is still together, but none of these pieces are solved because they all need to be shifted over by one. But then I realized, hey, what if I just moved all this shifted back, like just, undo the moves I just did, except obviously not just undo them because then I would do nothing, but maybe do something to the top layer first, like this. Then move it all back down. And you can see, okay, the white layer is not solved. There is one piece in here, and the other white one is up here. But then I realized when you can change only one thing in one layer, then you can do this special technique. Let's see if you guys can guess what I'm about to do. I've never done this before. It's called commutators. And I'm pretty confident because I can do U and D moves and because I can swap one piece into the other layer, then I can do commutators and I can actually solve the rest of this. I am that confident in it, and let me show you why. So if you've never seen a commutator before, let me explain to you how they work. Commutators are a way you can cycle 3 pieces, and I'm gonna do something. Let me just do 1, 2, 3. And you don't have to worry about exactly what that did, but what you do have to see is that the bottom layer, everything in it is the same as before except for one piece. And then we're going to turn the bottom layer and undo those first 3 moves, and then move the bottom layer back to solved, and now you can see that 3 pieces only have moved. One way that you can think about how commutators work is this one I'm moving into its solved spot. Ignore the top 2 layers, this is solved. And if we look at what was there before, it was the other yellow piece that goes here. So I move this one into the solved spot, I get the other one's solved spot over, and then I undo the first 3 moves so this one will come back to where it was, bottom right. When I do the first 3 moves, why doesn't this messing up the cube really have any effect later? Why does it all just come back to solved? Well, that's because I'm just gonna undo it later. The only thing I'm not undoing is the fact that this one in the bottom layer switched to something else, which is why only one piece in the top ends up being wrong. Okay, that's as much as I'm going to explain. You can watch the commutator tutorial if you really want to know how this works, but that is what I'm going to try and do for the rest of this solve. Okay, so before we start here, I'm just going to do that algorithm once to take something out of the white side, and you'll see why I'm doing this in a second. But here, now the white side is unsolved, so now I can start thinking about this like a commutator. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to try and solve this yellow-blue, and where should I solve it? Well, this is a yellow-blue, so that means this yellow-blue needs to go to this spot right here so that they make their face. Okay, and then this one is going to go to this spot, but then I need to figure out where this one goes because this one is going to replace this and this will go to the top. Then I need to turn the D layer in some way that when the yellow-green comes back down, it's going to go into its correct spot. And okay, if this side is blue and this side is red, that means this yellow-green goes to this spot right here. Okay, how many spots over is that? That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'll have to do like a D4 at some point. All right, so this one goes to the left side of the slice, and the spot that I want it to go to will be on the right side of the slice here, and I'll just do the algorithm, and this one should go down to here. So R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, R2. Okay, now you can see that this is solved, and then I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 at the bottom, and then I'll undo that, and the yellow-green will go back down to its correct spot. So R2, U, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2. Okay, let's align everything. Look at that. These are all solved now. And every piece is the same. Edge pieces, corner pieces, they're all the same on a Square-2. So I think I could actually solve the rest with just this. I mean, it worked for this, it should work for everything. Now, before some of you guys say I'm cheating, this is not even Square-2 knowledge. I'm allowed to use any knowledge from any puzzle. That is always allowed because this is my brain, not pretending to be a beginner. So what I'm thinking next is this yellow-green, put it to the left of the slice, needs to go to this spot, and this is on the right of the slice now. So that way these two will both be green. And then where does this yellow-red need to go? That one needs to go right here because it goes blue and then red, I think, that order? No. It goes here, I think. The color scheme and everything is messing me up. Okay, basically it needs to move one spot to this side, so I'm just gonna move it one over later. But we're gonna take the green, move it to where it belongs. 1, 2, 3. Like that. And then move the bottom over by 1. And then now the yellow-red will go back down to its spot. Reverse the algorithm. Look at that. Look, we are getting places. This is almost done. All I have to do is not mess up. Easy, right? This orange one, this corner needs to go here, I think. And then this edge needs to go here. Move this one to the left. This one's on the right. Good. Do the algorithm. Like that. Move this one over so that the orange edge can come back to the spot. And reverse the algorithm. There we go. There we go, they're solved. Okay, we are almost there. We have a few pieces left. So since we have a solved white layer, we can't actually solve the very next piece that we attempt, but we can solve the piece after that. So let me show you what I mean. Next, we're gonna take a white piece. So this one, any white piece is fine. And we're gonna move it to this spot with the blue. We actually do need the green piece here, not a white piece, but we don't have a choice. We're just gonna put the white piece here, and then it's gonna remove the blue, and we want the blue going to this spot. Okay, so algorithm, and then there it is. And then we take the blue spot where that needs to go right here into the correct spot, just right of the slice, and then undo. Like that. There we go. Next, we need this yellow-green to go to this spot. So the yellow-green's on the left, this one's on the right, and it's going to take the white piece out, which is annoying, so we're just going to take that white piece and put it into one of these two spots. We'll just do this one. So now we'll put it over here. Reverse. Okay, I think we're down to our last step. Look at that. Okay, we have 2 pieces left to go and 1 unsolved up here, which is basically the same as what I showed you on the 3x3. So if none of that made sense, at least this part should make sense. So we're gonna have this on the left side, and we're gonna take the spot it needs to go right here. And put that on the right side here. Okay, so algorithm. Move this spot over. Reverse. Don't mess up, don't mess up. Oh, I did it. I cannot believe how much easier this was compared to what I thought. Look, I did say at the beginning, it may be easier, maybe harder than a square one, but this, I think, because I can do commutators, oh, I wish I could do commutators on every puzzle. I literally try every puzzle if I can do a commutator, but this one you actually can, which made it so much easier. And that means I have to do a timed solve on this. Look, if I tried to do a timed solve on a square one, it would take more than an hour, I'm sure, because I don't even think it would be that much faster than when I tried to figure it out for the first time. But this is so much easier. The Square-2 is actually so much easier. Scrambling is definitely still tough because I am not a square one solver, so none of these finger tricks feel natural to me. Actually, the reason I never practiced square one was so that Square-2 would feel very foreign to me. And by the way, I love the way that it looks when it's scrambled. Before we start this solve though, I want to say I've experienced almost the exact same thing before. This is the Puppet Cube 1, and this is the Puppet Cube 2. Puppet Cube 2 was not that hard, but Puppet Cube 1 was the hardest challenge of my life, and I will not stop saying that. I will not stop finding a way to talk about Puppet Cube in every single video, because that is the only way to make that horrendous experience worth it. Anyway, time to solve this thing. Let's begin. Let's get this one over here, move it up like that, and then we have Oh, I'm so bad at visualizing where things will be at the bottom, so I keep having to do cube rotations. I need this corner piece. And then the edge piece, where'd it go? It's over here. Sorry for the cube rotations, Square 1 solvers who go to my local competitions. You guys are cringing right now. Okay, there's half of it. And then I need to work on the other half, which I'll do on the other side. Like that. There we go. And look at that, using the backside to solve this blue one. What goes here? This would be orange. Sorry, I'm losing my mind right now. I actually don't have brain power anymore. I tried so hard. Oh, sweet, but that's not correct. I need this one on the other side. Just move it very slowly. Watch the white piece on the right slowly inch its way over. This is probably a faster way to do this. Who cares? Let's put it all over here. Let's turn this thing. Okay, turn to the other side. I just realized I didn't need to solve all the white pieces, but let's solve this green edge. So we move it over here. So we take out this green edge with the algorithm and then move it so that the spot it needs to go is right here. Do the reverse algorithm. And the red corner goes here. And the red edge goes here. Somebody explain this to me. I have parity? Really? Parity's a thing on this? I'm so mad. Well, this solve is a rip, but I think I know how I can fix this. I know how I can do it. So basically, every piece needs to be shifted off by 1. That is so annoying. But I think this will fix parity. That's so stupid. Okay, I think I can do this quickly though, that on the bright side. So that means this corner, if it's shifted by 1, that means the corner needs to go here. No, sorry, here, where the edge already is. So yeah, so we're gonna do this and then shift it by 1 and then undo. So this is the reverse, and then shift it by 1 again, and I'm just gonna shift by 1 over and over. And trust me, I think this should fix the parity issue. Shift by 1, and reverse. Oh. Shift by 1. Oh, this is so annoying. And then by 1, and then reverse. Great commentary. And then I'm losing my mind here, guys. This is better work. I'm glad my cube theory is actually coming into handy here, because otherwise, like, if it was many years ago, I would not even know what causes parity. But now, since I know what causes parity, I can roughly figure it out. Yes! Oh! Guys, that should have been like a 4-minute solve. It took 7 minutes because I ran into parity. You think the Square 1 parity alg is bad? Well, you haven't tried Square 2. The YouTuber in me wants every challenge to be as interesting and difficult as the Puppet Cube, but the laziness in me wants every new puzzle to end with commutators. What a coincidence that Square 1 and Square 2 were both such fun puzzles to solve in this way, and it is just a shame that I will never practice Square 1.